There we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It is your boys, but we of course are missing someone today.
We are missing someone. Clinton could not make it because he got tied up in a bear trap this weekend, and it looks like they may have to amputate. What are they amputating? That's up to you to find out.
Exactly.
Next time you see him, you'll count all of his limbs and see what's missing.
Exactly, you'll know this.
But he couldn't make it tonight, so we're going to just do a tag team edition.
Exactly. Tonight. Tag team in the One Winged Angel podcast. You already know your boy Rashad here. But of course we got Nathan. And as we said, Clinton, we are praying for you. Sir, you'll make it.
Yeah.
Speedy
recovery, brother.
Speedy recovery, my friend.
Yeah.
You'll see him on the next episode. But today, we are here for the AEW Double or Nothing review podcast episode.
Yeah.
It is Monday, 27th, yes. May 27th. Day after the pay-per-view. First thoughts I'll give right off the bat before I ask Nathan on his. Tony Khan, what are we doing, sir? My ass was watching this show till almost 1 o'clock. Now, I know other people in the Eastern Standard Times get to watch it and be done at 9. Lucky for y'all.
That's West Coast time.
West Coast, sorry.
Yeah, they're lucky. You know?
Those guys are lucky. We are not. 12 on a Sunday is insane.
Insane. Saturdays, buddy. Do it on Saturdays. Are we going to pull that stunt?
Like, we don't care how long the show is, but when it's long on a Sunday, that's just silly, my friend. We have to work the next day. Can't be going to bed that late.
Yeah, man. AEW was built on Saturday night pay-per-views. Let's go back.
You guys used to do that. We loved it. We didn't complain about it.
Yep.
If any people tell you that we were complaining, they were lying.
Full of shit.
Alright? But either way, that's my mini rant.
Mini rant, yeah.
Other than that, I love the show. This was overall, it was long, but such a good pay-per-view. Top to bottom, all the matches were delivering. All these guys came out ready to perform. And it was something where from the opening match to the ending, it was just everybody was trying to prove a point that we are fucking top tier wrestlers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And anything you want to add? Any thoughts on the pay-per-view, my friend?
I thought it was a great pay-per-view. A lot of matches on the card I was excited for. There's a bunch that you knew who was going to win. There's some you didn't know who was going to win.
Exactly.
You knew that it was going to get crazy in that Anarchy in the arena match, and it did. So, basically all the things that you thought were going to happen happened that night, and that's, it was fun to watch too. We're going to cover it all here, but, quick opinion on the pay-per-view. Great night. Late night. Good times, though. Should we start it off with the pre-show, or what do we call that? The buy-in?
We'll call it the buy-in, as they like to call it. We'll stick to their terminology.
Yeah.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the buy-in happened. As you know, all pre-shows go, they usually have a match or two, and they're just hyping up the pay-per-view. The first match in the buy-in, though, was, you could kind of say it was a grudge match, because they've been feuding a little bit. Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. Nice little match there. Opened up the show. One of those things where Deonna, she did get the victory. There's not too much to talk about. She used a illegal roll-up for the win. She held the tights, had her feet on the rope, all that jazz.
Yes.
And what does that mean? What's my opinion on it? Don't have one much. I love Deonna. I love Thunder Rosa. I feel like they both obviously just got opportunities at Tony, so maybe this sets up Deonna as Mercedes' first challenger potentially. Because obviously you're gonna want her to face AEW talent before she faces anyone else. So either way, it was a good match. What does this mean for Thunder? I don't know. But
We'll soon find out.
yeah,
Basically, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and Deanna proved that tonight. And that was your first match of the night, and not much really to talk about.
That's what I mean. You know? Like, it was very technical, but at the end of the day, like I said, surprise roll up with the extra legal help for the win. And yeah, we're going to go on to the next match, which was a trios match with the Acclaimed, aka Mr. Daddy Ass, Mr. Sesame, and versus the newly assembled, or you could say already assembled, just new name, Cage of Agony. So they were the Gates of Agony, but now they're the Cage of Agony.
Yeah.
Which I actually fuck with the name. It's not bad.
Not bad, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because, I mean, it fits it, and it's nice, and
it's like if you're trapped in their cage of agony.
Exactly. It has that intimidation factor. And it was a nice little match here. Not gonna lie, I was hoping that they would get the win, the Cage of Agony.
Right.
They didn't. They claimed get the win. Max Caster, your raps have been very weird lately, dude. I don't know if Tony Khan has been on your ass and how controlling it creatively, but come on, dude. I love your raps. They've not been hitting me like, oh my god, he said what? Like, come on, dude. But the raps aren't about the wrestling. The wrestling is what we're here to talk about. And yeah, it was a great match. I mean, when you have the Acclaimed, they as a tag team, even without Billy Gunn, are just phenomenal in the ring. So it was a great match in general. Brian Cage, that guy is criminally treated by AEW just because when you look at the way he can wrestle, his skill set, and yet what they've chosen to do with him, it's like, damn, you, sir, are like Lance Archer and like a Miro. You're like those guys that should be pushed, and just Tony has nothing for you. So I will apologize to you, Brian Cage, because Tony won't.
Yeah, the fans appreciate you.
We appreciate you, especially here at the One Win Angel review. We appreciate you, sir. But other than that, not much else I can add. Yeah. I literally don't know where this leads because with the Acclaimed winning, they were just the Trios champions. So unless they're getting a rematch, don't know why they won. And it's also why I wanted Cage of Agony to win, but oh well. It is what it is.
The Acclaimed with the win.
Acclaimed with the win.
That's your buy-in.
And yeah, I was going to say, you don't have anything to add, right?
No, not at all. He said it all. That was your buy-in match. You just got to see some guys have a nice little tussle, and it was good times for 20 minutes. That's what you got, right? But then the night started, and they started with the opening match of the night was for the international title.
And man, what a match this was. Our boy, our wrestler of the year over here, like I can already say that at this point. I don't care what happens the rest of the year. Will Ospreay will probably be, without change, my wrestler of 2024. Mm-hmm. But yes, we had Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong for the international title. These guys, I mean, what can you say? Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay. When he's in the ring, it's one of those things where you know you're about to witness greatness, and we did. He killed it. Roddy.
Fuck, you almost died like a minute.
Oh yeah, I think it was like in the first. Yeah, no, it was in like the first 5 minutes. Yeah. Like it was a scary moment, ladies and gentlemen. Like legitimately, man could have died.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, they were setting up for. One of them had him up on his shoulders. Yeah. And the idea was the guy in the ring was going to jump over the top rope to the outside and clothesline him off of his buddy's shoulders. But when he went for the jump, he kind of caught the ropes and it kind of made everything kind of tumble awkward. And luckily, he seemed to be okay. He got up.
But he fully fell on his head.
It didn't look like a fun time. So.
Like when he landed, he was probably supposed to land like on the shoulders. No, landed on his head.
Yeah, but I don't want to take too much time and cover the bad stuff that happened in that match. That was
That's
just early
fair.
on. He took a pretty good spill, but give him credit for getting up after that shit.
And just continuing to just put in the match that he did,
and he did. Like, and him and Roderick went hard on each other. Like, we were watching with a guy who's like kind of a new wrestling fan last night.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen a lot of Roderick Strong in the past. He just knows him as the guy that yells at him all the time. But
Yeah.
even he, halfway through that match, was saying, this guy can actually go.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a good match to see Roderick Strong actually
Be showcased. And
be a good wrestler, not just be a dork on the screen. You know?
Yeah, like for a while now, the way he was being presented, it was just like you said, literally looked like a dork. But
Yeah.
he came into this shit and said, "Oh, y'all want, you guys thought my nickname, the Backbreaker Messiah, was like just a nickname? Nah, I'm gonna break this man's back." And like, amount of different moves he was doing, the Osprey, like. Yeah, they went at each other. They were chopping the shit out of each other. It was hard hitting, but the finish, which I found very interesting, we had Mr. Don Callis, aka my boy, aka Don Callis guy. He came in, told Will, hit him with the Tiger Driver, 98.
Break his neck.
Break his fucking neck. Break his neck. And Will started getting pumped up. And we were still looking there thinking, oh, maybe this is the heel turn. Maybe he is going to do it. Put him in the position. And he said, no, I'm not going to do it. Tried to go for the Stormbreaker. Roddy countered that. But then Will was able to counter. His counter turned out into his finish. And ladies and gentlemen, your new international champion, Will by God Ospreay.
I like it.
And perfect title for him. He loves to travel. He said it in his post-match backstage segment. He said it in the media scrum. He's like, he wants to be everywhere. He wants to do what Pac was doing when he won the title. He wants to go to all these indies and defend it. And I'd love to see that. Give it the exposure it needs. You put over other talent in other companies. Prove relationships. Like, he's the perfect international guy for AEW.
Absolutely, he is international.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Pretty much. You got it right. Exactly right.
So, well, yeah. When it comes to Ospreay, they couldn't have picked a better guy. He's gonna be champion for a long time. I think he'll definitely. I'm already saying gonna be the longest reigning international champion probably.
Oh, really?
Because I know it was Orange Cassidy, but I think he's about to have
big time Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna have that type of reign where he's just gonna defend it against literally everyone and then everywhere. So
Orange Cassidy, acknowledge him, you know.
But we love Orange Cassidy over here. Shout out to you. Yeah. We'll be talking about you in your match later.
I just want to put a little pin on the Ospreay Roderick Strong before we move on.
Yeah.
The Don Callis thing.
Yeah.
Don Callis pretty much almost cost his guy that match that night.
I will point that out, yes.
And Don shows up a few times tonight. And Don, I don't know how much Don helped last night.
No, in fact, I will say this. I love Don Callis, but you had quite the amount of blunders last night that cost your boys.
Also, he's talking to a lot of new people. I think we're going to see some Don Callis bullshit coming soon.
Some new members kicking out some old members potentially.
Yeah, there might be a shake-up in the family. It's kind of... We'll talk about it later. You guys let us know what you think, but we'll discuss it more. But let's move on.
But the seeds have been planted.
I think there's some seeds
planted. So.
Yeah, all night he comes out and he's kind of fucking around with his guys.
Exactly.
Like, he didn't have to tell Ospreay to take an extra step and try a stupid move because he had him beat. But
exactly.
He almost cost him. So makes you wonder if he wanted Ospreay to win that or not. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? We'll see.
What happens next? We have a Adam Cole promo coming out.
Mr. Adam Cole
baby shows up, comes walking on his own 2 feet. Like, hopefully the ramp took him to the ring. There wasn't any jumps he had to clear, anything like that.
Nope.
So he made it. He got in the ring. Adam Cole baby story time with Adam Cole baby. Again, it's been a while since it's been story time, but he's still there talking, discussing some stuff, bringing up the devil, and
And that was it, you know? That was it. That was the whole segment.
Nothing else happened.
Nothing else happened. Of course, that's never the case in AEW.
Yeah.
And as he mentioned the devil, you could just hear it in the crowd. They were just all like, before his music, before anything happened, all you hear is MJF, MJF.
What was up?
They knew what was happening. And when the Titantron started playing the video package, we all knew what was about to happen.
The long hallway, like you could just tell that was MJF's head. It's just the way it was shot. I was like, that's definitely his house.
Yeah. Like the fact that he has a room full of AEW memorabilia, like that's cool. And shout out to him having a dog collar in there,
all the things that he had.
Nightmare Factory shirt.
Whether or not he has that full time or if that was just for this segment, it was still well done.
For sure.
Easter eggs in the background if you're paying attention. He has the ring on like the hand mannequin.
Exactly.
He's got his suit and his scarf on the mannequin in the middle of the room. Exactly. Like it was so hilarious. I loved it.
Oh yeah. But of course, that led to his music hitting, and the man got a well-deserved adoration, and just what a pop. Like, I mean, we popped ourselves watching at home. It was just beautiful to see. We missed that man. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Maxwell Jacob Friedman is returned to All Elite Wrestling. Came out, had the Triple H jacket for those who weren't paying attention. Yes, that was a reference to the games.
It's true. He had the leather jacket covered by
the jean part.
Jean fucking vest.
Like, you knew that was him taking a shot.
Triple H usually had the big patch on the back, like Motorhead or something. He had like his I don't know what it was, but it was like an MJF themed patch. It
had like his the pattern for his scarf on it and shit.
Yeah. Hilarious.
And then gone to the ring. Adam Cole being the sniveling heel. Please don't hit me, dude. Come on, I love you, man. Yeah. They actually do hug, which the crowd boos. And then of course, right away, I'm just like, you thought I was good? No, sacks him. Everybody loves that. Hits him with the brain buster. And this is one of the complaints I have about this show. I did not mind MJF coming out, having his moment. But, my dude, you took up, I'd say, a good almost 15 minutes cutting a promo during a pay-per-view. And no offense, it's Max. Nothing he said was boring. I was invested in everything he was saying. But at the same time, this isn't a Dynamite, Tony. This is a pay-per-view. You want to know why your show went to fucking 12:30? You can thank that man for as part of the reason. Because no offense, that segment didn't need to happen.
They plan on it going to 12:30 though.
Oh, I know that. But that's what I mean, though. It's like, Tony, we need to start cutting the fat out of these pay-per-views. And that's some of the fat. It was a great promo. MJF basically covered everything that happened, and like him being out, and
he doesn't need a New Japan or a Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
You know?
Love that. That was a huge, oh my God.
And said he's not going fucking anywhere.
Yes, sir. He quoted the Wolf of Wall Street with the, I ain't fucking leaving. Mm-hmm. So, yes, sir. And he even showed us the tattoo he got, which, low-key, I might even get something like that myself. But yeah, on his right calf, he got the all in.
We'll see if it was a press-on one or not in the next couple of weeks. If it starts to like flake off or
then we'll know.
Starts turning copper, we're going to start to know what's up with you, buddy. We're going to be watching you.
Exactly. Because at this point, with the promo, the main thing that people were looking for was, is he a heel or a babyface? He seems to be a babyface.
He's making it seem like he's going to go heel. But at the
same time, so that's what I'm saying. He's basically said to us, I don't like any of you.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about anyone no more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still love y'all.
He's loving the cheers.
So, we'll see where this goes. We'll see how this story goes. But having that Maxwell on our TV this Wednesday will be a sight to see. I can't wait to see the ratings because everybody out here said, "Oh, Max isn't a draw." Yeah. Well, after this Wednesday's Dynamite, when they show you what the ratings are, and for his segment too, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see. Because as far as I'm concerned, right now, I love Swerve, but Max is almost bigger than the title.
Yeah.
It's weird to say, but that's how I get that feeling. I know Swerve is the world champion, but it's like Max is almost bigger than the title. Right
there
now.
are those guys that happen, and like we're watching one right now.
And that's what I mean. He's bigger than the championship. Yeah. Like he came back, and he's already the biggest guy in the company again.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, psh, that was fast. So, and I love Swerve. Y'all already know, but I'm not going to sit here and deny y'all.
Nobody in that locker room is going to argue with that either. It's like people are hot, and there's not always a rhyme or a reason for someone to be hot. It's like some people just have that charisma and the look that just everyone likes. And he's one of these guys, and AEW was smart to sign him because
for sure.
You let him go, your competition is just gonna walk on you. He is your biggest thing.
Because I'll say this to this day, the fact that y'all let Jade Cargill go was one of those things I will never forgive you for, Tony, because I'm looking at her now in the WWE and the way she's being used, I'm like, it wasn't difficult to use her, Tony. No. Not at all.
Well, he was using her.
It's
just letting her walk. If it came down to dollars and cents, it might have been time to sharpen your pencil because it didn't take too long for you to dump a truck of money on Mercedes money.
Exactly. It's
so
like, and probably with Max
that's
too.
Probably maybe because he learned that lesson with Jade. You know what I mean? So
maybe that's why. Now he's like, okay,
yeah, all right, they need the money. We'll give them money.
I let Jade go. I'm not letting Max go. That's Max, right. you want your big contract? Here you go. Sign the contract.
Yeah, he is a young learning general manager / whatever. He's got a lot on his plate. So Tony Khan's learning with everybody, I think, here.
Exactly. I mean, he will defend Tony. But I will say I agree, but fuck you, Tony. Either way.
It's easy to get on someone for making mistakes because everyone makes mistakes.
It's true.
You often forget of the many things he's done right. So
it's true.
It's just it's fun to tease him though.
Yeah. But either way, that's the whole point. That was the whole thing. Yeah, MJF has returned. He'll definitely be out on Wednesday. We'll hear him probably cut another promo. Knowing him, it's not going to be anything similar to this, but it'll be around the same vibe. Just he's back and anything bad.
Someone will come and get in his face, and you'll find out who he's going to go after next, probably. But
it begs the question. I don't think Adam Cole's healthy.
No, I don't think
not enough to wrestle. I know MJF is back.
Yeah, but I don't think they've shown that it doesn't fucking matter. Mercedes wasn't healthy when she signed either, and they dragged that motherfucker for 4 months.
It's true. So it's more of a
they might do it. Who knows? Hopefully not. Fuck.
But anyways,
next match.
We're gonna move on to the next match, ladies and gentlemen, and that next match was the Trios Championship. The Unified Trios Championship, with the champions, the Bang Bang Gang, versus the Reformed Death Triangle. And yes, this match is one of those matches where, no offense, it didn't sell me. There wasn't a lot of build into the match, really. It was a great match in ring, but other than that, it wasn't a match that I was super invested in. And so when the result came, which was the Bang Bang Gang win, I was a little disappointed, but at the same time, I wasn't because of the way the finish came. And the finish was, you had Rey Fenix on the top rope, about to go hit the finish, the diving stomp, and the returning Juice Robinson came, pushed him off the top ropes. Jay White with the Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3, and still the Trios champions, the Bang Bang Gang. And Juice goes to the ring, celebrates with his boys again, and I love Juice Robinson. Like, he's one of those underrated guys who can really perform though, and his addition to the group, which I said it and I wasn't sure at the time, but it was confirmed. He's most likely came back to be the third guy in the trios now, and Jay White's most likely going to be a singles guy. And that is why I love this, because I love Jay White. Jay White should never have been in a trio. He should have been a singles guy this whole time. With Juice back, he can now focus on being a singles guy. And yeah, love to see it. Where does Death Triangle go from here? I don't know why they I get why they reformed, but in reality, if Ray Phoenix and Pentagon are healthy, have them in the tag team division. They are phenomenal tag team wrestlers.
Well, let me jump in.
Yeah.
Here's my take.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, how you weren't invested in this match. It kind of came together quickly, and it did. It was within like 2 weeks, if that.
Yeah,
they
there was
set this
not
up.
build.
But it doesn't matter, because what we have is the Bang Bang Gang. They're hot right now, versus the Death Triangle, who are a legit contender for those titles. So
for sure.
They threw this shit together, and that's fine. And then I think that's maybe what's going to happen next, is now that they've had their little thing with the Bang Bang Gang, maybe Pac and the boys figure out maybe we just need to do our own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just like a one-off. Maybe. Or are we going to see a feud with these two teams again? I think this happened once before, didn't it? Like
the feud?
I feel like it's happened before. And maybe that's just in my head, and maybe that's a sign that maybe we just shouldn't do that feud.
There's been a couple trios feuds in the past.
With Death Triangle and the Bang Bang Gang, though? Like, who were they? I don't know.
Their last big feud was with the Elite when Kenny was there. That was their last feud.
Because I know, like, the Death Triangle's been injured, either one of them.
Oh,
the only one that's been healthy the whole time is Penta.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, whatever. I guess we should stop overanalyzing. We don't know what's happening with these guys
Exactly.
next, but I guess time will tell. I like all of these guys. I like the Death Triangle as a Death Triangle. I like them as Lucha Bros and Pac. It's all good. So whatever happens is all good.
Oh yeah, we're all here for it.
It's just
we know
right now.
It's just right now because of it being thrown together the way it was. There's no way to look at it and be like, oh, well, it could go this way or this way. It's more like you gotta wait and see.
I do wanna shout out the wagon.
Oh,
the Bang Bang Gang had the wagon on Dynamite this week to carry their titles because they have so many belts. They have a fucking like a Home Depot like garden wagon. It's hilarious.
Oh no, it's such a funny ass thing. It's like Orange Cassidy had his backpack. Bang Bang Gang has the Bang Bang cart. That's what they call it. It's like, love to see it. That is so good. And like, yeah, keep the belts on them. I don't really care. Let it happen. But
best theme in the game right now.
Exactly. Their theme song, so fire.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from there. Go on to our women's championship match, which was featuring, of course, Timeless Toni Storm, who right now is on course to be the longest reigning women's AEW World Champion. So shout out to her versus Serena D. Yeah, I think it's like she has to go to September.
Who has it, Britt?
Yeah, Britt has the record. But yeah, she has to go to September, and I think she beats Britt's record.
She's not beating Britt's record.
But I don't think she's gonna beat Britt's record because you still have all out. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming, so
she's got to work it out for her.
Exactly, a lot of work ahead of her, Tony. But let's not jump ahead. Yeah. We talk about the women's championship match, and yeah, it was these women went out there and for a match that was very similar to the last match we were just talking about, didn't have a lot of build. It was still a very well performed match. Like, these women went out there and hit each other like motherfuckers. They were not holding back.
Yeah, good match for sure.
It was a very hard hitting, and this is what I mean. Like, people, when they look at Timeless, always forget how good she is because how fucking jokes the gimmick is.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it.
It's
because
awesome.
You watch it and you're like, she can't wrestle. Then she gets in the ring and she whoops a woman's asses and you're like, oh, yeah, she's a hard hitter. Like,
yeah.
And like,
it was good to see her against like a Serena Deeb who's technical.
Oh yeah, this is what that's why I love this match, because I love technical wrestling, and when you're able to show that facet of Toni Storm as well, because a lot of these opponents haven't been wrestling those types of wrestling styles that Serena Deeb was doing, and getting to see that side from Toni was nice. Serena Deeb, you put on a hell of a performance for someone, like, no offense, it was very obvious you weren't winning, but at the same time, there was quite a few spots there where I was like, oh shit, maybe they are just gonna rip the bandage and just let her win. Like,
she made Toni earn it, right?
She
went out there and made Toni have to look like she deserved to win, and she did that. And like, it took an avalanche tombstone or a pile driver off the top rope, basically.
Yep, and that's what I mean.
And then stack her up for a second one when she gets down there. So like,
it's not like Serena Deeb just went down easy. Like,
no.
It took a crazy finish.
It was like watching the end of a horror movie or the end of like a Godzilla movie.
Yep.
The only way you're putting Serena down was like
you had to hit her with a big hitter. Yep.
So that was really cool how they did that, right?
Oh yeah. So. And then the only things of note to point out for those who watched the match and will remember this, Mariah May. There was a point in the match where Serena Deeb had her Boston Crab hold on Toni, and Toni looked like she was about to tap, but she refused. So Mariah grabbed the towel from Luther and was trying to throw it into the ring, aka throwing the towel. Luther was stopping it, and what made me laugh, or what was intriguing about that, is Toni, when she only noticed that Luther had the rope in his, had the towel in his head. But at the same time, she didn't notice that Mariah May was the one who was going to try and throw it in. So, more of the storyline there. This little, like, Easter eggs like that I love to see. And, like, I can't wait for their feud now. It's going to eventually happen.
Yeah.
And the way it's turning, it is most likely going to be Mariah May. I originally thought it would be Toni turning on Mariah. But now I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, Mariah May is going to turn on Toni Storm.
I think Mariah was pulling some shit with Thunder Rosa back when Toni and Thunder were going at each other too. So she's always been kind of like... There's always been these little things she's been doing with everyone that Toni gets mixed up with.
And so that's what I mean.
She's been fucking around.
Oh yeah, so it wouldn't be a surprise if from the very beginning she's been like playing this act just to...
Yeah. Just to get her chance when the time is
exactly. And that's what I mean. When you have long-term storytelling like that, as a wrestling fan, you love to see it. Yeah. And like, when this storyline first came to fruition, I wasn't sure about it, and now I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is some top tier shit. Like, when it comes to women's storylines in AEW, yeah, this is probably their best storyline that they've had for the women's side for like a very long time.
Yeah,
I love to see it. But yeah, like we said, Toni Storm with the huge finish for the win. She retains her title. Odds are her next thing's gonna be challenging someone from either Stardom or New Japan, because Forbidden Door's next. So
true.
That'll be a
Stardom for sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So. Yeah, that'll be a good match. Forbidden Door is always a good pay-per-view, so yeah, we'd love to see it. Love that women's wrestling this year has been a lot more utilized than it was last year. So, yeah, not much else I can say other than that.
Nope.
Let's move on to the next match, which was just a regular match again.
Yeah, we're breaking a streak here. It's been title matches for like 4 matches in a row for titles. So this is your first non-title of the main, like of the Double or Nothing, I should say.
And now that I'm like really thinking about it, other than the main event, yeah, this is the only other like non-title match. So like, yeah.
Here's your break, I guess, if you want to take one. But like, it was Orange Cassidy versus Trent. So
exactly,
these are friends, best friends at a certain point in time.
Exactly. For those who know, Chucky T, Trent Beretta, and Orange Cassidy, the best friends, and then Trent decided after losing in tag tourney that he was done being friends with them. Turns heel, attacks Chucky T. They have their little grudge match in the parking lot brawl. Puts him out of commission, and all that leads to here we are, the pay-per-view match between Orange and Trent. It was a very hard-hitting match. These guys basically said, let's just beat the shit out of each other. You can tell they did, and
Yeah, it was one of those.
you can appreciate the effort they were putting in. My issue is the finish. For such a grudge match,
True.
having a surprise roll-up as the finish is very sad.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, even Orange was talking a lot of I'm gonna mess up Trent's I'm gonna kick his ass, yeah. But then it's Orange, you won with a roll-up, buddy. Did you really kick his ass? And and even after that roll up, it took you forever to get up. Trent was able to walk out the ring, was already in the crowd by the time you were just standing on your feet again. You barely got out of there, dude. Trent to whoop your ass.
Huh, yeah.
And
but didn't lose.
No, that is the thing. And I guess only 2 points to point out was one. Don Callis continued his recruiting, as I will call it, of Orange Cassidy. He was out on commentary, just was talking up Orange and all that. And the only other thing I'd say is we don't know where Trent goes from here, but right after the match, he was interviewed and asked, how you feel, what does this mean, yada yada, and Trent said, I'm done, and walked out. So maybe it's one of those, he leaves the company, quote unquote. Who knows, but interesting times right now. And the only thing I will point out before we get to the next match is in the backstage segment after, Don Callis was doing an interview and was talking about Orange Cassidy and how happy he was that he won, and mentioned that this Wednesday he's going to have a contract to the Don Callis family for someone. Didn't say it was Orange Cassidy. He did say he was going to have a contract though. So
here we go.
We're going to be seeing what happens.
We were saying earlier, more to tell about the Don Callis story than.
And this is what I mean. A lot of story going on when it comes to the Don Callis family, which as a Don Callis guy, love to see it.
Easier for it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to that little point there. Anything you want to add?
I think, I feel bad saying it, but I feel like the Orange Cassidy Trent thing was maybe used too many times before the event happened. Kind of took the shine off of it. And I feel like an asshole even saying that because I love those guys. But I just felt like it was probably the one that I was least excited for that night. And I'm sorry.
No.
These guys are great. I love them. It was a great match. But of all the things, I'm looking at the list right now, of all the things that night, unfortunately that was one of the least exciting matches. Not to say it wasn't good, and I don't want to bring it down, but what I really meant to say was, I think our brother would be upset if we didn't have a feature figure of the week.
Oh, yes.
And so we're going to do it for him, get well soon, brother, Bear Traps, bud. What the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, you gotta stay away from those, my friend.
Here we go. I'm going to just pick one off the wall here.
Yes, we're
going
gonna
to rehearse. We're going to do this a little differently, I think.
Oh yeah, today is just a freestyle feature.
This is Quentin's thing. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing right now, but I'm gonna do a little from the couch. We're gonna do it old school style before we start moving mics and whatnot.
Exactly.
And having friends. I've got AEW Jeff Hardy figure. This one actually just came out hot off the presses, but it's fucking pretty cool. It's probably the only Jeff Hardy figure we're going to get because, he didn't really wrestle too much and I don't think he's coming back. But anyway, we're not going to go there. What I like on the back is the picture, and this event took place on my birthday. So that's why I picked this one, because it's fucking sick. But I'll give you guys maybe a better view of that. I don't know.
Yeah. There you go.
Fucking won't get the fucking reflection off. There's Jeff Hardy, guns up. Comes with the chair that he's got in the back there. It's got a sweet paint job on it, but yeah, that's it. That's our quick feature figure for our brother there.
We did it for you, sir.
You know, get well soon. So you can get back to posting your own feature figures.
Exactly. But, anyways, that's
our pause.
That's your little grab a drink break.
Grab your drink. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's get back into it. FTW Championship. Chris Jericho defending his title in a 3-way match versus Hook and Shibata.
Oh, yeah.
This is a pretty cool match. I mean, you got 3 great wrestlers. Also, anything goes in FTW rules.
So you knew it was going to have all the shenanigans.
All the shit out there, right? And Shibata, I think we said it before, you put this guy in any situation, he seems to figure it out. Like,
oh, yeah.
He'll go. Like, I think he's kind of learning the North American hardcore style.
Oh,
but
for
he's
sure.
doing a good job.
Oh,
and Hook
he
doing
did
a great job, tossing guys around, wicked moves that night. Jericho, still Jericho, always been good. Probably gonna be good for a while. Love him or hate him, whatever. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, Jericho being able to reinvent himself as often as he's able to is just...
Yeah, what do you do?
Like, you, sir, are a fucking wrestling genius, and that's
all
I can say. Yeah. You understand the business better than literally anyone I've ever met, because, like, golly, dude. The amount of gimmicks you've had since you came to AEW.
Yeah.
And yet to now be the learning tree and have made that into a thing that, like, actually works is just insanity. Like, golly, I don't have much else to add to the match. It was a spot fest as you would expect. The one thing that had me laughing was when they pulled out the bag, and I thought it was actually going to be tax, and it was not tax. It was fucking dice. Whole bag full of friggin' dice just everywhere on the ground.
Shit would have sucked too.
It was funny. It was a great match. The finish was so good. I love the fact that Big Bill got involved, as he should have. It's
of course, yeah.
If there's anything goes, you better be getting involved. And yeah, there were so many like big spots, but of course Jericho, the Judas effect. I assumed it was going to be on Shibata. I never expected Hook to take the pin.
Yeah.
The fact that Hook took another pinfall is like, oh, that's worth noting. That's cool. Because, I mean, the way Hook was being used when he first debuted was not great. He was just squash talent after squash talent to a point where it's just like, come on. Now the way they've been using him this year, having him actually face, like, top guys, how he faced Joe a couple months back, now how he's had his matches with Jericho, it's like, this is what should have been done, and I'm glad we're doing it. Let's keep pushing Hook the right way.
Yeah, I like Hook, he's awesome.
The only thing I will say is I want him to at some point transition from this FTW championship. I don't know what happens with Jericho, if you're going to have Hook win it back from him or whatnot, but I feel like with how long Hook's been in the company since he's debuted till now, yeah, he should at least be the TNT or
chasing for it.
Yeah, like he should not be continuing this FTW.
Yeah, is that what you're going to be like the rest of your life? You know what I mean?
Like you can't have that be your thing, dude. You can't be the forever champion. Like that's Jericho. And he's literally making a joke of it for that reason. Like let him have it. Go after the TNT championship.
They even have the countdown on Jericho's entrance now. How many days he's been the
literally it was like on the pay-per-view it was like 36 days and I was like they're just gonna keep that going and I love it. So yeah. Sorry, Hook. I want Jericho to have the title for a while, so go after the TNT championship.
Yes.
But other than that, not much else I'll add. Shibata. He just got officially signed only like a little while back, so it's not like he was going to win the title. And yeah, Jericho, can't say nothing else. Love the learning tree gimmick. You've been killing it, my friend. So, and the only other thing I will point out that happened in this match that I just forgot, but I remembered, is we had a masked figure come out. and
right.
interfere to help Jericho win.
Yeah.
And it turned out the masked figure, which is a head scratcher to me, is the bounty hunter Brian Keefe, who just recently got signed as officially All Elite. But begs the question, what's going on with this? Does this mean he's gonna have a new character? But either way, I mean, it's a good way to utilize him, I guess. And it was something nobody saw coming, so love that in wrestling. But at the same time, it's just one of those, like, it was so unexpected. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why Brian Keefe? Out of everyone you could have used that was maybe sitting on the sidelines, like,
yeah,
I'm Brian Keefe, really?
I'm thinking it's just because they want to utilize him because they just signed him. And I was thinking it's because they have a cowboy already.
AKA,
but maybe they're just
Mr.
gonna
Hangman himself.
change him up a little bit just to make him more AEW, like something different. Like, let's get you to fit in, kind of like WWE does to their guys when they bring him in.
It's true,
right?
because they're trying to refix their.
Sometimes it's like we already
character.
have that guy, so we gotta. Sorry, dude.
You can't have two similar characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. Hey, that could be it, honestly. But either way, that's pretty much it. That's all that you really need to know when it comes to the FTW three-way match. And other than that, let's go on to the IWGP.
Moxley versus Takeshita.
Yes, the heavyweight championship.
This was one
match.
of our least favorite stipulations. This was a IWGP Eliminator match. Takeshita was wrestling Moxley at a pay-per-view, but don't worry,
it wasn't for the title,
because that'd be crazy. So anyway, we talked about that. We're not going to cover
I'm not even going to go into Eliminator.
Moxley versus Takeshita. These two are awesome. Moxley was there, Double or Nothing #1, so here he is again, #5.
Exactly.
Just coming out, doing his thing. Takeshita, great wrestler from Japan, doing his thing.
I said at the beginning of this year, he's the most underrated wrestler that I look at right now.
Yeah.
Just for how he should be hyped and how he's not. It's like, nah, he is him, Takeshita. Like, he showed it during this match.
Yeah.
There were so many times where I was like, this man is gonna just whoop John Moxley's ass and just make it look easy, because that's how it was coming across. Like, those elbows he was throwing, I don't care what no one tells me. Oh, wrestling's fake, yeah? Let Takeshita try elbow you in the friggin' face and you tell me if it's fake then. Nah, bro. Those, every time it hit, I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Japanese strong style, and Moxley likes it. They love that shit. They deck each other. It's like, go nuts, guys. Yeah, go nuts. But fuck yeah, it was a good match. And we don't need to spend too much time on it because, I mean, obviously, you know it was great. These guys are great. Moxley comes through with the win, which is, if you're gonna have this stupid stipulation where if he wins he gets the title shot on a pay-per-view, at least fucking, I thought maybe Takeshita would win this one.
Yeah, exactly.
To make it worth the stipulation. But anyway, we're not going to cover that bullshit.
No.
Don Callis.
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about, yes. Mm-hmm. Because there was, he was, out of all his influence in the pay-per-view tonight, this was where he fucked up the most, I would say. Because in this match, he told Takeshita, take this chair. He went and grabbed the chair from under the ring, gave it to Takeshita, and was going to get Takeshita to use it. Takeshita didn't have time to use it, hesitated, and John Moxley took advantage of that, hit him with the stomp onto the chair head first.
Yeah.
And that's what led to the finish. And so, as we were talking about earlier, and we're going to go back into it because it's relevant now, he essentially cost Takeshita that opportunity at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Which begs the question, at least to what we were talking about earlier, is this leading to Don Callis shuffling up the roster, having a few guys out, a few guys in?
Well, if you look at it, that's Ospreay and Takeshita. He
yeah.
seemed to help that night, and maybe that was all part of the plan.
And that's what I mean. At the very most, if I'm Takeshita, after last night, I'm very pissed off at Don Callis. Mm-hmm. Because if it wasn't for that chair, I'm winning against Moxley and I'm getting my title match.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens on Wednesday. But this is exactly what I mean when I say I love the way they handle this pay-per-view and the stories that they set up. Because it's like, now, looking at this Wednesday's this Wednesday's Dynamite, all the things that there is to look forward to. MJF and what he's gonna be doing going forward. Same with Mercedes. Same with Will. Like, man, it is now a good time to be watching AEW again. If you stop for any reason, you better get your shit back.
Time to come back
and get back into it. Cause like I said, MJF is back. We have, I'm not gonna go into it yet. We have a few other champions now.
We'll move on.
We'll move on.
You should be paying attention from here on out.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
But the next match was a big match.
Oh yeah.
This was really cool.
This match was the barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT Championship.
This was cool.
Featuring your champion, Adam Copeland, versus the leader of the House of Black, Malachi Black. And man, first off, shout out to, I forgot the band that played Copeland's theme song, but like...
Oh man, I want to say... I'm gonna be fucking mad.
Because I know it was like
this wrong. I think it was Slayer.
Wasn't it Slayer?
If it wasn't Slayer, it was Anthrax. But like I'm leaning on Slayer.
But either way, it was
the metalhead in me is so mad at not knowing the answer right now. But
see, you should know more than me.
Light me up in the comments. Go for it. Tell us who it was.
Exactly.
But it was a wicked fucking tune.
Oh yeah.
I was like. I even said that night watching it because he came out with the Brood red
music.
lighting and he came out through the floor through the fire and I was fucking. First of all, the song hit, I was excited. Yeah. Then he comes through the fire, I'm real excited.
Yeah.
And then like the fucking song gets into he's all brooded out and the song gets right into like the fucking chugging riff.
Yeah.
Right when he's about to enter the cage and I was like, man, if I was him right now I'd be ready to go through a fucking wall right now.
Yeah, because like the adrenaline
and you know Malachi is also a metal fan. He's in the ring already watching this unfold and he's probably just like, fuck yeah, let's ring this bell and shut this door.
Exactly.
And like they came in the cage and it was already filled with toys. There was barbed wire obviously everywhere. They had chairs,
tables laying around.
They had shit to fuck around with. It was
set
up for a great match, and you had these guys coming out fully hyped and ready to. There's a couple things here, like Copeland gets to bring the Brood back, and that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
And Malachi finally gets his singles
one-on-one
pay-per-view big match, and it's good.
And let me tell y'all, y'all already know how big a Malachi fan I am. I preach it every time. Push this man's singles line. They finally did. And look at that home run. Because at the end of the day, he lost. But I don't give a damn. That boy looked phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
And at the end of the day, for those who didn't understand Malachi, after watching this match, now you're like, okay, this guy can go. Yeah, he can go, ladies and gentlemen. I love Malachi Black. This match was phenomenal. The only thing I would like to point out that shame on you, Copeland. The hell is you doing jumping from the top of the cage? Because yes, there was a spot, ladies and gentlemen, where he had Malachi basically tied up with barbed wire,
wrapped with barbed wire. It's totally safe.
Yeah, onto the table, climbs up to the top of the cage and jumps. And why I say shame on you, Copeland, I don't think he realized, and maybe he didn't even practice climbing up there, but when he jumped, you could tell he like kind of was going flat and then immediately almost went straight and like landed almost like on his feet.
Yeah, he broke
his damn legs.
But he also, the only thing that broke that table was his ribs.
Yeah.
Did you see his fucking ribs?
Oh yeah, they were
fucking dick.
I was like, no matter what, for a guy that age, taking a spot like that, damn.
Nah.
You shouldn't be doing that, Copeland.
This goes back to what we were talking about in our last podcast that I've been saying. This guy is showing us his, you know, it's not like, I don't want to call it a retirement tour because I don't know if it is, but he's giving us the like, hey, just so you fucking know, I can still do it. And oh man, like that spot from the top of the cage, that was awkward as shit. But fuck, it probably hurt. Like, fuck.
Oh, that's why I'm saying, like, just looking at the land and everything, I was like, damn, you didn't feel that last night, but I guarantee you today, you're feeling that right now. Like, damn. All that. But no, it was lit. We had Gangrel come back to the ring. Do you know that guy? Oh, so I'm too young for that guy. I've seen the clips. I never actually watched the TV like footage though.
Once the lights hit, like, so I was a Brood fan back in the day. That's been my jam since the shit came out. And fuck, I've watched the 2 different versions of the Brood. Like, there was Edge and Christian Brood with Gangrel, and there was also the Hardy Boys with Gangrel, and I love all of them. So they're great. When these lights hit, my mind was running. I was like, who the fuck is coming? Gangrel was the obvious answer. And I was like, Gangrel would be pretty fucking cool. But I was also running like, can we get a Jeff Hardy run in right now? Yeah. Like, how fucking cool would that be? Does Matt Hardy show up? Because he said he's a free agent. He could show up anywhere. Exactly. You could have had that happen. Like, I didn't think Christian was going to do it because obviously
he had his
own shit to worry about. But we've seen, like, Matt and Jeff kind of disappear for a minute. It would have been pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And not, like, obviously Gangrel was the obvious choice. He was the leader of the group. Him coming in through the floor, how cool is that? We're going back to like Undertaker days when he used to come through the floor. It's not very common that people come through the floor.
Yeah, he like Mr. Buddy Murphy when he came out. That shit was cool too. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like in general, cool it was just like, yeah, the whole match was just, I loved it. I loved watching it. Adam Copeland ended up getting the win. And like I said though, Malachi Black, even in defeat, you look phenomenal. I know this was probably them giving you your time to show, like, hey, I should be getting more singles matches. You showed why you should be, because you killed it, my friend. Adam Copeland, can't say enough. Like, for your age and the work you're putting in, like, wow. I don't know where you go from here. Clearly, I feel like you and the House of Black are now done, so we'll see what happens, but yeah, just such a great match. Loved everything that happened in it. And
before we move on,
I
couldn't let it go. It was Slayer.
So it was Slayer.
I looked it up. So roast me in the comments for not knowing the answer right away, but I think I was leaning towards Slayer. But anyway,
he did say Slayer first. I remember that.
It's fucking badass. I was ready to go through a wall. I'm sure he was too.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
Alright. And this will lead to one of the first of 3 of our triple main events. AKA, we had the TBS Women's Champion, Willow, defending her championship against the debuting Mercedes Moné in her first debut singles match. For those of you who don't know Mercedes or aren't familiar with her, you got introduced to her last night, and man, for a girl who hasn't wrestled in like no time left that she hasn't, she fucking killed it. And she took so many bumps from Willow. Golly, Willow was not playing. She wrestled hella rough. Like, it was like, she put Mercedes through the ringer. She was like, oh, you healthy? We gonna test that out.
I appreciate that too. You want to come on the microphone for 4 fucking months and act like you're a bigger deal than the champion herself?
Yeah.
Let me make sure, like, you know, if you're gonna win, you're gonna feel this one tomorrow.
And she did. I'll say that because she put so much work into that. One of the things that happened that I found interesting, and it's another moment where what you would say managers costed their clients a match, aka Stokely Hathaway trying to get Willow to cheat. Willow refused. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what that led to. Your winner and new TBS Women's Champion, Mercedes Moné.
Can I hop in for a minute?
Yeah.
Now, I have been a fan of WWE in the past, but I'm going to be totally honest in saying I didn't watch a lot of Mercedes Moné,
aka Sasha Banks.
coming up through WWE. I did see her. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a few years of her, but then it was like about that time when I stopped watching WWE. So
Well, that's fair.
for me, I had an idea as to who she was in WWE and what she could kind of do there. But like, let's all be honest here. If you watch WWE, they don't really push it all that hard sometimes.
No, not the way she was wrestling.
So when I was watching her last night, this was me. All right, I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give her a chance here. I want to see what this chick can really do without WWE telling her what she can and can't do, and with her fresh take on her character. And after running her mouth for the last 4 months, she better fucking be good. So I maybe was being a little critical of her, but that being said, I want to say she did a great job last night. She was really good last night. She did some pretty cool moves. When she first started off, she started to do some crazy chain wrestling shit early in the match, and it looked rusty as fuck.
Oh, I will admit that too. Like,
that's okay. She is okay. It's allowed to be rusty. She just came back from injury.
Exactly.
If she ain't rusty, it's fucking crazy.
That would be weird.
But so she slowly, as the match picked up pace, she got her like wings under her, and she came out and she had some really cool moves. Took some shit from Willow, and also did her finisher to Willow.
Oh, and landed it well. And it wasn't like something where she barely got her up. She was able to like held her took a few steps, got in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Like, and Willow's not a light girl, so like.
Yeah. No, so it was good to see. Like, that's where I want to come in and say I've been talking shit about her. Not really, but I'm just saying I've had enough of her talking.
Yes.
So I wanted to see her wrestle, and I was watching.
Exactly.
And she did a great job. So it's good for her for coming in and after all the shit talk, showing that she can actually wrestle.
Oh yeah, and the thing that I am looking forward to going forward is the exposure she's gonna give to other talent now.
Sure.
Because like Willow already in this feud, and it's just like for me, I like to notice little things. Even her like social media presence has increased Willow just by being associated by Mercedes, and that's why I mean like I'm excited to see what Mercedes can do for other talent, making them into bigger stars, because she's that big of a talent that when she has a match with you, it'll probably, even if you lose, as long as it's a great match, you're probably going to be better off after. And that's something that they brought her in for a reason, because she brings that it factor that she can do that. And yeah, when it comes to Mercedes, I don't know when she's going to win the Women's Championship, when she's going to lose the TBS Championship, but she's going to be champion for a while. This division is going to be hers, and Britt's and Jamie's. Like, yeah. AEW, y'all got a women's division, like, it's going to be stacked for years to come. And, like, I mean years, like, at least 10 years minimum, so
yeah,
that's exciting to see. The only other thing I will point out is the big headline. Well, not the big headline, the post-match scenario. So, after the match, Stokely's in the ring trying to cuss out Willow, saying, "You didn't listen, blah, blah, blah." And Statlander actually goes to Willow's defense, pushes Stokely on the ground, says, "No, not tonight." Key word, not tonight. So, in my head, I was like, oh, maybe she's going to turn heel on Wednesday. I assumed the heel turn was coming, though. Walking up the ramp, as soon as she, like, changed her arm position, I was like, oh, here it is. And, yep, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Statlander, the girl who we saw coming as an alien and turned to where she is now a heel for the first time in her career. And I love it. I wanted it. She needed it herself. This is probably going to take her to the next level where I wouldn't be surprised if she wins the Women's Championship. Literally. Like, I've said that. I said that already. Chris Statlander to be the one to beat Tony if it's not going to be Mariah. So, we'll see what she has to say this Wednesday, because after that heel turn, they did an interview for her. She said, yes, I'll explain my actions on Wednesday. So, we'll see where that goes, but
I'm here for it.
I'm here for
I'm a
it.
big Statlander
If this is something where it's going to turn to a faction, because I feel like this maybe leads to Trent joining Stokely or something. Maybe recruit some other people. I'm a faction guy. I love factions, so.
I loved Statlander when she was booping people. She
Oh,
would come
yeah.
back and do that again. I'd be down. We should move on
Oh, yeah.
to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
And like, no offense to Swerve or Christian, but this is going to be a lot shorter of a review
Not a lot
compared
to
to the
cover
last.
here, yeah.
I mean, we all know how this match went.
Yep.
Swerve wasn't going to lose. It was his first title defense on pay-per-view. Christian was a great opponent, and of course he put in the work. Like,
Good
it's
match.
not like the match wasn't a good match.
Yeah,
They Christian, for his age, it's like Copeland. They're like aging like fine wine. They just put it in.
Yep.
Especially Christian. Like, this is the best work I've ever seen you do in your career.
Yeah.
From even WWE. So like, I'm not gonna disrespect you like that, but we knew you weren't winning.
True.
And at the end of the day, the only thing I will say is there was not as much interference from Nick Wayne and I want to say Luchasaurus, but it's not that. It's Killswitch. God damn.
But there was. They
There
got to the
was.
point where they got kicked out.
Oh,
They
yeah,
got
I
banned
guess
from
because of their
ringside from all their
interference,
bullshit.
yeah.
And then they came back anyway. And then Nick Wayne came back anyway. So, like,
yes, okay.
there was a bit of
There was a
interference.
bit, but
But of
like,
course there was, and that was the story. So that's why this review could be so quick.
Yeah.
You all know how this happened. You know how he got here. Like, he had his family help him get there.
Yeah.
He got to the main event. Of course he cheated.
Exactly.
That's what Christian does. Of
Exactly.
course his family fucked around twice.
that's how it
And
is.
Swerve had to take them. He dealt with all the bullshit, and there was a great match in the middle of all the bullshit.
Oh yes.
So like, it's just, we don't have a lot to cover here because we knew Christian was going to lose.
Exactly.
We don't know where it goes next, and it doesn't matter because Wednesday night they're going to have
Swerve come out probably.
it's going to be a battle royale for who gets to take on the champion.
Yes, at Forbidden Door. So really, honestly, they're not going to have an AEW. They're not going to set up a contender yet.
Not yet.
So
So it was one of those things that was, you got your 1 month feud. This is a quick feud.
exactly.
Good enough. Get her done.
Exactly.
Great match, boys. Nothing else really to say here.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to Christian doesn't need a title right now. He's made himself that big now, so he can continue to be an asshole who is a foil for some babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he goes after John Moxley next. I'd love it.
That'd be
I wouldn't
crazy.
care.
That would be cool.
But like, other than that, the only thing I'll point out is shout out to Floyd Money Mayweather being there. He was there. He was at the show, which I mean, that's cool. When you can see a guy getting big time athletes and stars coming to the show and getting that exposure. So shout out to Swerve. You're my champion. I love you, Swerve. Swerve's house.
Still Swerve's house.
We're gonna move from there and go to the main event because it had a lot of shit, and we're gonna try and talk about all of it.
We probably
But
won't cover it all.
we won't cover it all.
We'll forget most of it.
Like,
there's
there was
much shit.
so much that happened in this main event, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, we're talking about Anarchy in the Arena. First thing I'm gonna point out, I love Justin Roberts and how he's like, all right, y'all, shit's about to go crazy. It's like, yeah, we got you hyped there. Then yes, of course, the match starts. The elites, they come out. Not everyone though, because when Jack Perry starts to come out, obviously Team AEW comes out and they start the fight.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those matches where, like, if you watched last year's Anarchy in the Arena, you know what was going on. There's music playing, different brawls going on all over the arena, essentially. Like,
Darby Allin had a mask with thumbtacks facing outwards.
yeah, because
he's come back from a broken nose, so he's got a
and from being hit by a bus,
From being
which,
hit by a
spoiler
bus.
alert, I'm gonna just go into it, got hit by a bus again, essentially.
Wow.
Not literally, not in the same way.
I don't know. Well, let's just talk about that. One of the spots.
Yes.
Him and Jack Perry end up backstage.
Yes.
And he gets thrown into a stack of skids.
Exactly.
Just dummied into the skids, and then Jack Perry fucks off for a bit.
Exactly.
And then they go out to some of the other fighting, and then they come back. Jack Perry's in behind the wheel of a short bus with scapegoat painted on it. It's got blood on the grill and everything, and he comes hauling in, and he just runs right through the stack of skids where Darby Allin once was.
He almost hit the man.
So we're under the impression that he's still laying there, but he crashes through the skids, runs into something else, and through the impact, he hits his head off the steering wheel. He's lit. Now Jack Perry's knocked out in his seatbelt. He did wear a seatbelt, good for him. And he's having a snooze. Safety first, everyone. He's having a snooze. So that leaves him there for a while, where they move on to other segments where there was shit everywhere. It was your classic Donnies everywhere. And you had FTR, Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, the Young Bucks, Okada. A lot of guys they had at one point a 4-player split screen.
They were showing different fucking brawls in different sections.
Shit everywhere.
It was wild.
It gets pretty crazy, and I guess we might as well just go to the main shit that happened. Is near the end. This is after Jack Perry crashes his bus.
Oh yeah.
He comes back. He wakes up from his nap. He's got it figured out. He knows what he wants to do. He starts trying to make his way back to the stage, and on his way, he sees Tony Khan, Big Biceps Tony at Gorilla.
Neck brace
Tony goes over and grabs him. He says, "You're coming with me."
One of my favorite parts of the match, as y'all already know. I loved it. I was cheering. I popped big. I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, Tony."
Yeah, Tony's getting the again.
Yeah, Tony got beat up.
He just got back from injury. Come on, Jack. So Jack starts taking Tony out to the stage, and already out through all the mayhem, we have the Young Bucks on the stage, we have Darby Allin on the stage.
Yeah,
I want to say Bryan Danielson was around the area.
He was near that area. Yeah,
there's a bunch going. There's a lot of shit happening. Jack Perry comes out, Tony Khan in hand. Darby sees him coming down the ramp and quick goes and hides around the corner like he's not gonna know where I am.
Exactly.
And Jack comes out to do something to Tony, and then Darby comes at him with the flamethrower again from Wednesday night. If you guys didn't see it, Darby showed up with a flamethrower. They didn't teach him how to use it.
No, not at all.
Full blast of the fucking fuel ran out. They didn't go through this is how you shut it off. It was kind of sketch, but he came back with the same sketch flamethrower, and he set Jack Perry on fire.
And for those who were like, "Oh, that wasn't real," listen. As Punk would say, it was real fire, okay?
Yeah, real
this
fire.
was not fake fire. That shit was goddamn. I'm sorry, but I don't care as a professional wrestler. If you tell me, "Hey, you want to get lit on fire?" I'm going to tell you, kiss my black ass.
Yeah.
No.
Get fucked.
Like, what?
And that wasn't even
the craziest shit.
Sometimes back in the day, they'd light a guy's boot on fire. Like Joey Janela a few years ago thought he'd light his boot on fire and super kick a guy in the Indies.
And then it wouldn't, because it wouldn't come out.
This was more than that. So,
that's what we're trying to tell you.
It wasn't Snakes and Sparklers from Joe Dirt. It wasn't like the first exploding barbed wire death match. They got the pyro right tonight.
This fire was real fire.
Jack Perry's probably pretty crispy today.
Oh,
man. So right after he gets lit up, he kind of runs around, rolls around, then the Young Bucks
stop, drop, and roll, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop, drop, and roll. Young Bucks get him out with the fire extinguisher. They jump on him with the blankets, and Darby's just having a little giggle because he's a sick fuck. And this brawl continues down to the ring after they let Jack Perry toast up in the corner there.
Exactly.
They carry on, and everyone's down at the ring, just beating the shit out of each other. At some rate, they get Darby Allin laid the fuck out.
Yeah.
And they have someone drops fucking line down from the roof like Sting, you know what I mean? And I didn't bad joke. I probably won't even say this joke. But I was thinking we probably shouldn't have done this stunt when Owen Hart's wife was in the you know what I mean?
But it was bad.
So they ended up hanging Darby Allin up by his feet, and he just came back from a broken foot or ankle or whatever he's been on with.
Yeah.
And they got him hanging upside down, and he's knocked the fuck out. And they're just basically it's gonna be like fucking Viva Pinata, Darby Allin.
Well, because the Bucks out of nowhere, who have at this time on their, if you remember, they had the spiked shoe. They each have a spiked shoe on. Fucking super kick the man in the head while he's hanging.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, But this man's hanging by his ankles and gets super kicked by spikes in the face.
Yeah.
And before you're like, well, what happened to the mask? No, they took off his mask.
Yeah.
So this man took that super kick, no mask protection. Like, nah, Darby Allin, you're a madman.
Yeah, they kicked him right in the face, and then he was bleeding out, and he's hanging upside down for probably
so
10
long.
minutes.
Like,
I don't know. But
it was longer than I guarantee you it was supposed to be. There was no way they planned on him hanging that long.
Being that long, I bet.
No.
But like the crowd's even chanting, "Please save Darby." He's hanging up there so long. There's so much chaos going around. He's still up there. The crowd's even trying to get him down.
Yeah, like I thought they were saying we killed Darby, but either way, like it was a scene where like you watching that. It's like I said in pro wrestling. There's some visuals that you'll never forget ever. And I will never forget seeing Darby Allin hanging by his goddamn ankles, unconscious, while there's fighting going on around him. Because, yes, they just kept fighting. Nobody tried to take him down. They were like, nope, let's just keep on brawling. Bryan Danielson giving yes kicks to both Bucks while his boy's just hanging there. Like, I don't even know what to say. This match was...
It was wild.
Wow. And, I mean, the finish was... It literally got to a point where Bryan Danielson, I don't know if he just out of nowhere remembered that Darby was hanging, but he was on his knees. He was like, "Oh shit, dude, my bad, can I help?"
Yeah,
and while he was doing that, Jack Perry, who was in the ring at this point, hit Bryan with his own running knee, side of the head, and yes, he himself got the pin, ladies and gentlemen, which I feel is a big thing, because knowing the Bucks, they're probably gonna try and turn this into him getting a title match. And my prediction for those who will watch this, you're looking at the man who's gonna challenge Swerve after Forbidden Door, probably, and Jack Perry.
That's his prediction.
That's my prediction. I don't know.
Shit.
But looking at like the current champions, I'm like, yeah, it would make more sense for him to go after Swerve. Swerve will need like a really good like heel type, and he's already kind of established that he's feuded against the Elite. Like the first two promos Swerve cut, he talked shit about the Elite, so it's kind of perfect in my mind.
Yeah,
so.
Swerve better look the fuck out.
Oh yeah, so Swerve better be having eyes in the back of his head, cause
Jack Perry doesn't fuck around.
Jack Perry, he's out here to play.
Real class, real fire. Real short bus.
Exactly.
He will fucking take it in.
Exactly.
Use it as a weapon.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there because that was your double or nothing. AEW post-show review. Friggin' tired.
He's tired.
Oh,
that's an AEW Double or Nothing recap episode.
Yes, it is. I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen. I blame Tony. I always will say this every episode. Fuck you, you damn neck brace. But of course, when I meet you in person, if we ever do, I will shake your hand and say I love your work. But at the same time, this is my gimmick. You're a neck brace Tony to me. You will stay neck brace Tony to me, even when you're not a neck brace. You're still neck brace Tony to me.
Fuck, the Elite's gonna be pulling the fucking plug on this feed scene.
I know, right? I see. No, don't put this propaganda out there.
Yeah, that's why you don't shout out Jack Perry. He's your next champion.
See, that's why I wanted to shout out Jack Perry, because I'm like, hey, you're not a scapegoat to me.
All right, let's wrap this up. This was your AEW Double or Nothing recap from the Uptown Down
Wrestling Podcast.
Oh yeah, bud.
The best wrestling podcast in the world. We will slowly and surely take over. Thank you guys for watching. We will have this up very soon for y'all.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. We don't get enough comments.
Yeah, not enough lip out there for wrestling.
Like, y'all are very tribalistic, but not showing it. So show it to us.
Sure.
Right? But either way, shout out to you, Clinton.
Yeah, get well soon.
We will see you on the next episode. Yeah. And, bop. Whose house? Swerve's house.